And now it's time to talk to our friend, Ryan Abraham.
Oh, I thought we were going to Lincoln Riley. I was a little worried for a second.
Who had the unfortunate pleasure of being in Champaign, Illinois
Ryan.
on Saturday. Well, Ryan, at least the game was not delayed by lightning for 4 hours. I guess that's one way to look at it as glass half full, right?
Yeah, one way, but Illinois got the ball, and their first 3 drives were like 11 plays, 10 plays, 11 plays. That's not what you want to see. Maybe a lightning delay would have helped, but I was really disappointed to see how bad the defense played. I think Illinois had 83% of their drives were considered successful, and they got a couple, I mean, I don't want to say lucky, but, good turnovers, but Illinois was going into the end zone 2 other times where they got fumbles and were able to recover them, or it could have been a lot worse. But I thought with Danton Lynn in year 2, with some better players on the defensive line, that this defense would take strides going forward. It looks a lot more like what the earlier Lincoln Riley defenses were under Alex Grinch, and that's concerning for USC fans.
Kamari Ramsey didn't play. How big of a loss was that defensively for USC, in your opinion?
He's been playing sort of out of position in the nickel because they've had a couple nickels that were hurt, but I think he's such a great presence. He does wear the green dot a lot of the times, where you're the communication link between the coaches on the sideline and the players. He wasn't filling up the stat sheet so much this year, but I do think his leadership was missed. But this is a situation where you knew you were a team that could get a lot of pressure with your defensive front. This Illinois team gave up 9 sacks the week before against Indiana, and you really couldn't get any pressure on Luke Altmaier. So I think it hurt, certainly, having Kamari Ramsey out, and apparently there was some other, sickness going around with food poisoning. But, most of the guys ended up playing, but just they weren't able to get that kind of pressure that they were getting in the other games. And I think that really hurt them in this one.
Okay, so they have a bye week, though, and this is the chance to regroup. It would have been nice to have some momentum going into this, but what's on the agenda for the bye week, and what do they need to work on before the big game against Michigan?
Yeah, I mean, I think offensively they've been elite, Ramona. Just looking at what Jaden Mayava's been able to do, he looks like a different quarterback.
Makai Lemon, Ryan. Wow, Makai Lemon looks like
Makai Lemon's
unbelievable.
Yeah. He's crazy good. When you get, with that kind of connection, it's been working really well for USC. The offense, they're just not punting very much. So I think on the offensive side, they've had a couple turnovers, but only one for Mayava, who had 7 in his last 4 games last year. I think you can't really complain about what's going on offensively, but there are a lot of penalties, mostly on the defensive side. They had a huge one that illegal man downfield that wiped out a 75-yard touchdown to Makai Lemon. His numbers would have been even crazier, but there's so many defensive penalties, so many defensive breakdowns, and just not being able to get off the field. And I think Illinois, who really got pushed around by Indiana the week before, came in with a different attitude and pushed USC around. So I think they're going to get back. You got a Michigan team that's going to want to try to do the same thing. It is at home, but Ramon, I think they just got to toughen up a little bit, and it's certainly on the defensive side, figure out a way to get some stops, because whatever they're doing right now just isn't working.
We're talking to Ryan Abraham from USCFootball.com. He attends every USC football game, covers the team daily on that site. If you're looking for USC football coverage, you got to go to USCFootball.com. All right, Ryan, let's get to the elephant in the room. I texted on our group. We have a group text, Mason, me, Emily, Brian. I texted in real time, and Joel Klatt, who was calling the game for Fox, texted it in real time. I thought USC scored too early. This was the scenario at the end of the game. They were down by 6, and there were 2 minutes to go. And Jaden Mayava threw a touchdown pass and left Illinois with 1:55 and all of their timeouts. And now USC only had a 1-point lead. So all they needed was a field goal. I know hindsight's 20/20, but I thought they should have run the ball at least twice to make Illinois use their timeouts and run another minute or so off that clock. But I have to admit, they needed a touchdown. So you don't want to get too cute. If you do the John Ireland run twice, then you only have 2 more plays to try and score, or you lose the game the other way. So where do you come down about how Lincoln Riley and the Trojans handled the last 3 minutes of the game?
I agree with you 100%. And Lincoln Riley was even asked about it after the game. He said, you got to score when you can score. But for me, John, the way he was calling the game earlier, it looked like he wasn't trusting the defense. They went for it on fourth down a lot, including like a 4th and 6 or 4th and 7. And a lot of those plays, the third down play looked like, hey, we're in 2-down territory. We're going for it no matter what. I think that was, hey, the offense is playing much better than the defense. We're going to put the chances of us winning this game is going to be on the offensive side, not the defensive side. And that drive that you're talking about, the final one, started with 6 minutes left. And I looked at Connor Morissette, who was sitting next to me in the press box, and I'm like, they need to take up this whole clock and score. Like, that's the only way they're going to win. That was before the drive even started. And they did a great job. 4 minutes off the clock, getting down inside to the red zone, having an opportunity to get another first down with the 2-minute warning. So I agree with you. I don't think the right play coming out of the 2-minute warning is just to throw one into the end zone. They've been running the ball well on that drive. I think you could, even if it's a 3rd and 5 and you're like, hey, now you got to score or you're not going to win the game. I'd much rather see Jade Mayava taking a chance and throwing the ball to Makai Lemon, 2 chances to get a first down, than giving this defense, who hadn't stopped anything all day, 2 minutes and 3 timeouts. So I get it. You have to score when you can score, but I think your best chance to win that game is to give yourself an opportunity to run the ball a couple times. And then, if you have to convert on 2 3rd and 5s and a 4th and 5, whatever, I'd rather have the offense do that than see what the defense did, which we saw all afternoon.
And to your point, Ryan, these kickers now in both college and pro football are so good. I mean, it's almost automatic if you only need a field goal to win the game that these kickers are going to come through. Now, it's starting to swing the other way with a lot of blocked kicks. But I think you take your chances. If you can get down there with a short field goal like Illinois had, I knew that kid was going to make that kick. And he's a really good kicker too. Yeah, all Big Ten a year ago. And Ryan, I personally thought that game felt a lot like those losses last year, where USC was in every game, but at every game in the fourth quarter, they led in the second half in 5 or 6 of those games and ended up losing all of them. Did you have the same feeling like, I've seen this movie before?
Yeah, it's funny. It's almost the reverse of the Maryland game last year, where USC had a 14-point lead late. Maryland scores. They get the 2-point conversion and then get the ball back, and then they score to take the lead. The only problem was USC wasn't able to come back and win that one. So I give USC credit for coming back. I mean, the fact that USC led this game with under 2 minutes left is mind-blowing, because they were getting outplayed most of the time. But you're right. It's like you were able to do just enough. I think in those other games, though, John, USC was sort of, had the control of the game. They were in the lead and blew it. This was one where they just weren't playing well. It was sloppy, making a lot of mistakes, and somehow were able to put something together and get that drive. The 15 points in that fourth quarter, late in the fourth quarter, that was really amazing from the offense. And they had a real opportunity to win this one that they probably didn't deserve to win. But like you said, giving up that final drive by Illinois and the field goal just doomed them.
Ryan, I think they're going to beat Michigan, even though that Illinois game was ugly at the end. Michigan's not impressive to me. And without Harbaugh, I think they're a little bit directionless. Am I overrating USC going up against Michigan in 2 weeks?
No, I think I've overrated USC coming into the Illinois game, but I think they have the opportunity to bounce back, similar to what Illinois did when they went on the road and lost to Indiana. Obviously, that was a blowout loss. This is a really close one. But I think it's one of those things where, for a coaching staff, I think Brett Bielema did a really nice job of this. They're like, hey, we got embarrassed. We're going to come in and we're going to punch USC in the mouth, and we're going to show them what it is to play Illinois football. I think USC has to do the same thing. I mean, their offense is elite right now. Michigan's defense is really good. They have a freshman quarterback, Bryce Underwood. The offense has not been great. I think USC had an opportunity to beat them last year when Michigan couldn't even run, couldn't even throw the ball, and they got some long runs at the end to win it. So I think there's a lot on this game for me, John. Especially Illinois was a game I think you should have won that one. I mean, you were a better team. Yeah. You have better players, and you lost it. But I think you're right. I think they have a decent chance, but they're going to have to rally. They got to play better than what we saw in Champaign.
All right. Thanks, Ryan. Great stuff as usual. We'll talk to you in a couple of weeks.
Thanks, guys.